Picture this. You wake up in the morning, peek outside, and based on whether it's sunny or raining, you make a decision about what to wear. That's just like how conditional statements works in programming. If-else statements are fundamental. They allow our programs to make decisions based on specific conditions or comparisons. Let's visualize this with the help of a block diagram which illustrates the execution flow of if-else statement in C. It starts with an evaluation of a condition or a set of conditions. Once the condition is evaluated, it generates a Boolean result, either true or false. If the condition evaluates to true, a specific block of code associated with that true condition is executed. This block is enclosed within curly braces and contains the instructions or actions that should occur when the condition is true. However, if the condition is found to be false, the execution doesn't proceed with the true block. Instead, the program moves to an alternative block of code associated with the false condition, which is specified using the else keyword followed by another block of code enclosed in curly braces. Now let's look at a simple code to illustrate how if-else statements work in practice. Imagine we have an integer variable number. Our task here is to create a condition that checks if number is greater than 5. If it is, we'll display one message. If not, we'll display another message. Let's declare an integer variable number and initialize it to 10. Now put an if condition to check if the number is greater than 5. If that condition is true, it executes the block of code inside the curly braces. Put a printf statement to display number is greater than 5. But if the condition is false, it skips the if block and moves to the else block, executing the code inside it, which displays number is less than 5. Let's run this code. As our variable number is equal to 10, which is indeed greater than 5, it will execute the if block, displaying number is greater than 5. However, if we change number to 3 and run the code again, it will execute else block to show number is less than 5. This example perfectly represents how our code takes different paths based on conditions. But here's a twist. What if the number is equal to 5? It will not fall in either of the conditions, which checks whether the number is greater than or less than 5. In this case, regular if-else won't work. We will need to add another condition to check whether the number is equal to 5 and display the message accordingly. This is exactly where nested if-else statements will come into play to handle these multiple conditions. Let's modify our code to handle 3 different scenarios. Change the value of our variable number to 5. As discussed above, if the number is greater than 5, it executes if block to display number is greater than 5. But what if the number is not greater than 5? In that case, it moves to else if block to check whether the number is equal to 5. If it is, it displays number is equal to 5. By the way, this double equal sign is called equality operator. It checks whether the value on the left side of the operator is equal to the value on the right side. It's important to note that it is used specifically for comparison, not assignment. Otherwise, if both conditions fail, it executes the code inside else block, displaying number is less than 5. Let's run this modified code. As the value of our variable number is 5, it is displaying number is equal to 5. This example perfectly demonstrates how nested if-else statements help us to handle multiple conditions by breaking them down into smaller, more manageable steps. Let's look at another example using nested if-else statement. We will create a basic calculator that performs addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division based on user inputs. Our program will prompt the user to input 2 numbers and select a mathematical operation. The code will then perform the chosen mathematical operation and display the result. Start by declaring 2 float variables, number 1 and number 2, for taking user inputs. Now declare an integer variable and name it as operation. It will save the arithmetic operator that needs to be performed between the 2 numbers based on user input. Also, a float variable output is declared to store the value of our result. After that, using printf, we're prompting the user to enter the first number. Then, with scanf, we're capturing the user's input, which will be stored in the variable number1 for further processing. The same will be done for getting second number as well, which will be stored in variable number2. By the way, if you would like to revisit our previous tutorial focusing on the use of the scanf statement, you can find it in the iCard above. The user is then presented with a menu to choose an operation. The user needs to enter 1 for addition, 2 for subtraction, 3 for multiplication, or 4 for division. Their choice is captured in the variable operation using scanf statement. After that, we will utilize nested if-else conditions to perform mathematical operations based on user inputs. If the value of variable operation equals 1, the code executes addition by adding number 1 and number 2, and stores the output. After that, it utilizes printf statement to display the result. By the way, this double equal sign is called equality operator. It checks whether the value on the left side of the operator is equal to the value on the right side. It's important to note that it is used specifically for comparison, not assignment. Else if the value of operation equals 2, the program performs subtraction by subtracting number 2 from number 1. The result is then displayed using printf. Else if operation equals 3, multiplication is carried out by multiplying number 1 with number 2, and the result is stored and displayed. Else if operation equals 4, it performs division and displays the result. And finally, it displays a message prompting for invalid input when user's choice falls outside the defined range for operation variable. Let's run this code. Start by entering our first number. How about 100? For the second number, let's input 20. Now we'll choose a mathematical operator. To perform multiplication, let's enter 3. And you can see the result displayed on the console window. Just like that, you can also perform addition, subtraction, or division by choosing the respective operator. That's all for this lesson. If you have any questions or need further clarification, please leave a comment below. If you found this lesson helpful, consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more educational content. See you next time. Happy coding!